I call bringing unknown works of art to life the great game. There are few things that can be more interesting and at times more frustrating. So let's follow the journey of this painting from rummage sale to full documentation. It should be fun. This is our third video as we follow our painting from rummage sale to full documentation. Since our painting started out in a rummage sale 40 years ago, much of the research that went into discovering the origins of this work of art took place before the internet and before the sophisticated art sales databases that are available to us today. In many ways, it would be much easier to research this painting now. In those days, the main research tools were books that could be found in art research libraries and the archives of auction houses. The internet and computer technology have made some aspects of art research much easier today. However, with that said, there's one aspect of art research that hasn't changed all that much. Artist signatures and monograms can be very, very difficult to decipher. The problem lies in the nature of oil paint and in the creative flair of artists. It is very tough to write legibly in oil paint. A truly legible signature in oil paint can be very bland. Artists naturally enjoy symbols and signatures that are both artistic and unique, and as a result, a unique signature is sometimes nearly impossible to decipher. Take a look at this one, or this one, or this one. Is there any help from technology? Not really. Surprisingly, computers are even worse at deciphering artist signatures than humans. Reading artist signatures would be a good way to pass one of those "I'm not a robot" tests. Even with the signature databases available to us today, it can still be very, very hard. Our painting has a monogram, which are initials formed into a symbol, and a date that the painting was created. The date of the painting is fairly easy to read. It was created in 1890. But what about that monogram? After a great deal of time in art research libraries, we come up with a possible match. The monogram for our painting looks very much like the monogram for the British Orientalist painter Frederick Goodall. Goodall was an extremely successful 19th century British painter. He was a member of the British Royal Academy. And far from being a starving artist, he was a smashing success. He was so very successful that he was able to build and inhabit a beautiful country estate. The home that Goodall commissioned and lived in is now the very elegant Grimsdyke Hotel outside of London. The home was later owned by W.S. Gilbert, that is the Gilbert of Gilbert and Sullivan fame, the creators of the wonderful comic operas. Goodall's great 19th century success as an artist creates a problem for our monogram attribution. Goodall's paintings were so expensive when he painted and sold them that it might have been very tempting for someone to put a Goodall monogram on a painting that was not by Goodall. For us, a monogram alone is not going to be enough to solve the mystery of this painting. We will need a lot more evidence, particularly evidence of a strong connection to the work and style of Frederick Goodall. Goodall was what we call an Orientalist painter. Orientalists painted scenes from the Middle East. In the 19th century, there was a tremendous interest in the exotic world of the Middle East. Artists painted biblical scenes, harems, slave markets, Bedouins and soldiers on horses, and the public loved them. Frederick Goodall actually spent a year in Egypt in 1858. Let's look at some of his paintings. One of my favorites is here. Another here. and another here, and here. Now let's look again at our painting. Can you see our problem? We know the date of our painting, 1890. We also know that other than some portraits, essentially all of Goodall's paintings at this time are Orientalist in theme. Our townscape, with river, town, birds, and wall, is not even slightly an Orientalist painting. This forces us back to the drawing board and research libraries. We hunt for another painter that might use a similar monogram. Unfortunately, after a great deal of work, we don't find one. Our monogram looks like it is supposed to be Frederick Goodall's monogram. Is this just a simple matter of a forged signature? Perhaps. Perhaps someone cheated in order to make some money off the reputation of a successful artist. It actually happens fairly often. We are really stuck, and we stay stuck for several years. Sometimes the research involved in the documentation of artworks is a really slow process. Our painting stays in storage in the dealers in Kansas City. Not much is happening. But then we catch a break. Join us in our next video to learn how we get ourselves unstuck and what interesting new things we learn about this painting.